Hey man, I like the look.
I said I
Good, man. I like the look.
sure. Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Can you,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Hmm?
Hear you.
Okay, good, good. No, I was saying that I like the look with the glasses or with the shades. Looking good.
Thanks, mate. Thank you. It's a kind of a
Yeah, yeah.
necessity.
Okay,
Kind
all
of a
right.
yeah.
Okay, all right. We'll start with the Test Championship. That's what you wanted to start off with. Yeah, interesting final so far. On the face of it, you'll still see Australia are in the ascendancy, but anything can happen. I think the sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
can you hear
Sorry,
me?
man. Yeah.
Could our
Yeah.
connection is a bit?
Yeah. Let me just try and just move a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, I was just saying that the way the Test final is going, Australia are in the ascendancy, but I don't think India will mind if I'm being realistic, chasing around the 350 to 370. But either way, that total will not be easy because it's not a pretty like some of those pictures kind of remind me of the Wanderers, but probably not as because man, the batsmen are getting hit too much, man. I think if had Australia not dropped catches and no balls, this match would have pretty much been over. Starting early in today's morning, so it's a bit of a bizarre situation. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, look. Before I go on, I think it's been a real quality game in the sense of you know winning as well. You see some quality cricket over the last 3 days. Australia, yeah. I mean, as you said, they were in the ascendancy yesterday with India six down, but then they panicked. I saw a bit of panic yesterday from the Aussies, especially their field settings. They kind of went to defensive and tried to save runs instead of actually going out and taking wickets and couple of no balls. I mean, you don't expect that. Uh, I actually thought that relative to India, I mean, the way Rahane and Thakur batted, I mean, the top order should have, because that is how you're supposed to be batting on that wicket. I think the top order really let India down quite quickly. I mean, there were some good
Yeah,
balls. I mean, the ball that got Kohli out, wow, that was a bit of a rip snorter. I mean, there's not much you could do with that ball. That ball was an absolute peach of a delivery to get Kohli out. But some of those shots, I mean, getting bowled, on off stump, Pujara, just bad judgment.
yeah,
Gill, bad judgment.
yeah,
You know, some of those dismissals were unnecessary.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean,
yeah.
the Aussies, yeah, I mean, Australia on top here, no doubt about it. I mean, they've got the runs on the board. 2-6 is looking a lot. That's a big lead. That's a big lead, mate. I mean, if you look at any test match, that's a big lead with 6 wickets in hand. I think with India now, they got to try and drop this down to 350. They got a chance. They definitely have a chance at 350. But if this
Yeah.
goes up to 400, if this goes up to 400 today, Sid, it's not easy. It's really is not to hit 400
Yeah.
in a 14s. I mean, how often do you see it? How often have you seen this being chased? I mean, you saw it at Perth in 2008. I mean, that famous chase. But by the Proteas. You saw it. You saw it. With the Windies
And then the
against
West Indies did it to
back in
Australia.
yeah, of course. Shivnarayan and Stars. Sarwan. I mean, great. And then obviously the Perth was one of the great. Perth was one of the great 4th innings chases. I mean, the way AB and Smith and Amla and McKenzie, Callis all chipped in. One of the great chases. Obviously, Doomney as well came in
But
there.
those pitches were very
Definitely.
friendly. Yeah, I do think, but those pitches were batsman friendly. Hey, if you can remember, I mean, they weren't as devilish as this pitch. Because man, I don't know what's the point of these types of pitches, and I don't like bringing up pitches, but this is not really a pitch. I don't see the point of this pitch. I mean, you could have prepared a New Zealand type pitch, and you would have still had I don't know. Call me crazy, but this kind of reminded me of Wanderers. Batsmen getting hit everywhere, man. It's crazy. I don't mind on the fourth day, fifth day, but come on. In the second day, even first day, batsmen were getting hit. So it's crazy. What do you think?
Yeah, and you really don't expect it at the Oval because I mean, if you look at England, I'd say the Oval is probably the flattest deck in England. I would say the one pitch that really does have demons is obviously Lords. Lords, I mean, if on any given day, I mean, you can get skittle out at Lords. Headingley is quite spicy as well, but I mean, the Oval you don't really expect it. It's probably the most batsman-friendly wicket in England. So it was a bit surprising, but I mean, it's good to see that in Test cricket as well. It's a battle. It is a battle. It is a battle of resistance and courage. It's been good.
I don't mind that.
It's been good so far.
On the fourth to fifth day, right? Or I don't even mind that on the mid-afternoon of a third day, right? But come on, first day, second day, come on, give me a break, man. This is crazy. If it wasn't Wanderers, it was Brisbane, and this pitch. I'm surprised the match on the call off, man. The number of times, but India are brave, eh? Remember at the Wanderers, India really took a lot of blows and they won. Don't know if India will have that success, but it would be very, very nice. It would be a nice brew for the Australians going into the Ashes. That could be fun.
Definitely. And that's going to be some series, eh? The way things are going at the moment, that's going to be some series. I mean, too good.
I forgot what the Ashes are now. I'm trying to see now. Okay, before we go into the Ashes, so you predicting Australia still to win by a big margin?
Yeah, I mean, the Aussies are favourites at the moment. Hey, I mean, it's going to take something special for India to get back in this game. Definitely, it's going to take. I mean, you've got 2 days. I mean, I was so impressed with the way Rahane and Thakur batted yesterday. I mean, that partnership, as I said, off air yesterday. I mean, that top order. I mean, they could really learn something from the way those two batted. And Rahane, I mean, he deserved 100. He deserved 100, no doubt about it. But I mean, it was genuinely thanks to them that India actually avoided that follow-on. Although I don't think Australia would have obviously enforced the fall, and even if India were really far behind, they would probably went on and had another bat. But the Aussies are in front at the moment and by a big margin. And you say 123 for 4. It's actually not 123 for 4. It's 296 for 4 because that's the lead. 296 for 4. So in India have got to restrict this down at 350. They got a chance. But if this goes up to 400, it's kind of looking. If this lead goes up to 400, it's not going to be easy. It's definitely not going to be easy.
Call me crazy, but you know what could save this for India? If Australia get this lead down to 400, India must make sure they make it so hard for them to get to the lead of 400 that there's not enough overs left for Australia to bowl them out. They just do a lot of leaving, do a Pajara. On that pitch, it won't be easy, but it can happen. So Australia mustn't overdo it, though, because they're batting pretty slow for Australian standards. Their approach is a bit weird, man. With the lead at 170, you should have just gone there and just had fun, man. But batting at 2 runs and over at the beginning was just weird. Man, I'm not saying it's an easy pitch, but even if you got bowled out for like 120, 150, it's just still not a bad score on this pitch. I mean, would have made it really fun to watch. England wouldn't have batted like this yesterday, but anyway, England are on another level. Although I think England are requesting for fast and flat pitches. Before I go into the Ashes, I'm also predicting Australia to win, but around 50 runs, which I think would be no shame for India. I think India will feel more embarrassed losing by 20 runs than 50 runs. I don't know if you agree with me.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about the run score yesterday and how slow the run rate was. I think
Yeah.
you got to give credit to the Indian bowlers. I think they put the ball in the right areas
Yeah, yeah.
yesterday.
No, I
Especially
agree with
Shami
you.
and
I agree with
Siddharth.
you. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree with you.
I
My point was just that,
I,
with the lead of 170, right? Yeah, yeah,
I don't think the
yeah.
Aussies are
I
going to
agree
stand
with
back
you.
to reality. That's not the Australian way of playing. I mean, you got free scorers there. You've got the likes of Green. You've
Yeah.
got you've got Carey. I mean, they're not going to hold back, sir. They're going to go for it. This is going to be exciting cricket today. It's going to be
Yeah.
really exciting cricket. You're going to see
Yeah.
runs. You're going to see wickets. So it's going to be quality stuff. And India, they started off so well with the boys, the Shami and Siraj.
Mm,
I mean,
mm, mm,
Siraj, I, I really think he's made for this format. Definitely, he's such a good test bowler. He
mm,
just he holds that hard length that's so hard to get away. And he was giving those two
mm,
openers big problems yesterday. Pujara,
mm,
Kawaja and Wana. I mean, they were all at sea. They were all at sea yesterday, and I mean, they both got dismissed. So yeah, if under 350, India certainly have a chance. But if this goes over
yeah.
400,
Yeah, yeah.
it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult, mate. Yeah,
Correct. That's
but
good. Ashes are around the sixth.
Australia
Yeah. Yeah.
at
You see,
the moment.
yeah. You see, the Ashes are on the 16th of June, which is actually on Friday. It's at Birmingham, and Steve Waugh has been raising questions if England have a plan B of Baz Bowl. Yeah, that's interesting. Australian making that comment, which is possible. I mean, that's a good comment to make, but I'm willing to put a prediction for the series that England will win it. But by which margin is a tricky one. I would say maybe, I won't say 3-2, but there will be a draw somewhere. Maybe 2-1. Or 3-1, yeah, maybe 3-1. I'm a bit bullish.
3-1 looks good. 3-1 looks good for me. I was also probably thinking 3-1. You don't get a lot of draws in England anymore, so probably might just get one. But I,
Hmm.
I would also go for an
Hmm.
England series win. The way they're playing at the moment, I mean, after that
Hmm.
debacle in 2021 down under and even in the West Indies, it was catastrophic times for England, and they changed a lot. They set up. They got McCullum in, changed everything, changed the mindset
Hmm.
of the way they play Test cricket, and I can see England going for it here. They're not going to shy down to the Aussies,
Hmm.
and I expect an England series win there. But you know what? This is a conversation for another day. But will I would say favorites to regain the Ashes.
Yeah.
Uh,
But hmm. Although, okay, hold on a second. Oh, sorry? Sorry, I couldn't hear you there. You were breaking up there.
yeah, I was saying in home condition, I'd probably put England as favorites, and
Yeah.
you know.
I do find the pitches they've requested for was a bit weird, man. Fast and flat. Don't know why Stokes wanted that, but I guess they become so used to pitches that are really good for batting, they probably want that route, but
I
you
mean,
know.
and the last thing you want is
Yeah.
is a
It could also
flat
be
deck with
3-2. Yeah, it could also be 3-2 if there are no draws. Instead of 3-1, it could possibly be 3-2. But if Australia went really well against India, like by maybe 200 runs, then I won't be surprised if Australia finally get over the Ashes, hoodoo and win one in England after so long. And they probably win it maybe even 3-2 or 3-1. Could go either way. Depend on the margin of victory, I guess, for Australia.
I mean, England have a lot to prove, eh? England have a lot to prove in this Ashes. So, I mean,
Hmm.
I don't think they're gonna give the opposition any, let ups. You got to play good cricket to actually beat them.
Hmm.
And call me crazy, but I think the one venue that Australia would enjoy is Lords because they
Yeah.
have a good record at Lords.
Yeah. Yeah. But
So,
that
so
match
they
is
would they
coming
wouldn't mind
second.
they wouldn't
Yeah.
mind playing at
Yeah.
Lords, man. And you
Yeah.
can fancy them. doing well at Lords because England historically, to be honest with you, they don't really have a good record at Lords, eh? Although being the home team, they don't perform that well at Lords for some reason.
Yeah, but I think that normally Lords happens to England when they host it first of the series. So, so it gives them a little bit of a cushion. So if they do win the first match, then they have all the. It reminds me, England had beaten Australia at Lords before, which was like in 2009 or the I don't know which year it was. I know England had beaten Australia at Lords, so it's not a written, but you know how it goes. Okay, let's just go quickly to the IPL final because I know that's such a long time ago. Chennai won it, and
one more point. I can also understand why. I can also understand why Stokes is asking those kind of things. Because Steve Smith has been a real nemesis for England, especially at home in England. I mean, he's scored bucket loads of runs, so they obviously won those quick pitches to obviously test the likes of Smith, the likes of Labuschagne, the likes of Head. Because I mean, you got a lot of counter-attacking players in the Australian lineup, so that is why I think he's requesting those kind of pitches. But I don't think they should overdo it. I think there needs to be a balance between bat and ball. You need good fair pitches, as you said. So let's hope we get that. But I think it's going to be quality cricket.
He said fast and flat. He said fast and flat. So it can't be any worse than this pitch. So I think the pitch will be very good for batting, but fast. So I think England are going to want to chase. You remember, England become very good chasers of late. So I won't be surprised if they win the top and just put Australia into bat and they'll just chase.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, who can forget that famous Test match at Headingley? I mean, Stokesy. I mean, on his own. I mean, one of the great 14 innings chases with Leach. I mean, Australia just lost it there. They just lost their. They kind of lost the control there. They lost everything. I mean, it was there just one wicket to get, and I mean, wow, that was one of the great 14 innings chases. I mean, we talk about the 400 plus chases we've seen in Test cricket, but I mean, that was some chase, especially with just having one wicket left in the tank. Brilliant. So yeah, that's been the mindset of England. They've changed that mindset around England. They've been so conservative in Test cricket, where you see now they actually go for totals, and I wouldn't be surprised because I just be playing fearless. Fearless. That's the word I want to call it. Fearless. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we saw what happened in Pakistan. They steamrolled Pakistan. Absolutely steamrolled Pakistan in their home conditions. So I mean, I won't be surprised if they would want to chase. Yeah, and Pakistan is not an easy place to whitewash the home team, right? And they did it with such ease. Yeah.
But okay, let's just revisit this IPL final. Chennai won. Shubman Gill was the player of the series. So what were your thoughts there? Because I think it was sort of unfortunate. Gujarat lost because of those last two balls, man. I think people were complaining that Hardik Pandya, he was speaking to the ball in the last two balls for whatever reason, which shouldn't have happened because the ball was in the zone, you know. They probably would have won that. Who knows? But anyway, it's over and done with.
Over and done with. But what a fantastic final. I mean, wow. You just cannot write off CSK. Eh? I mean, CSK and MS Dhoni, you just can't write them off. But yeah, I mean, GT, they had the game and they let it slip. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing there. It was a thrilling finish. It was an absolutely thrilling finish. Two of the worst balls Mohi could have bowled. I think he bowled so fantastically before that. But those last two deliveries, I mean, it's pressure. It's nothing else. It's just pressure. Trying to put the ball in the right place, and I mean, just getting it completely wrong. And I mean, credit to Jadeja. I mean, he saw it coming and he put it away. And CSK, another IPL title for them. I mean, if you look at the side, not too many superstars, but what they do have a great captain that gets the best out of their players, and they have a great coaching setup as well. So you got to give them credit there. I mean, it'd be a bitter. It's a bitter pill for GT to swallow, but
Mm.
You know what? These players get over these things, man. These are international players.
Yeah,
They play so
yeah.
much of cricket, and they kind of get away. They kind of get over it. I mean,
That's true.
it's a different thing, like, you know, actually representing your country.
Mm.
And I mean,
Mm.
if this was an international game, and let's just say, but if this was India playing, you know, New Zealand or Australia, and losing by that, in, you know, in the last few balls, I mean, that could cause, you know, a real, I mean, that would have been some blow. I mean, you know, teams and players would take a long time to get over something like that, because I mean, it means so much to represent your country. I mean, I'm not saying that franchise cricket is not important, but I mean,
Yeah,
you just kind of
yeah,
feel it more when it's for your country, and I think it stings a lot more, especially when your country loses. I don't know if you agree with me.
yeah, 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 yeah. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
definitely.
trying to. Yeah. Okay. Last segment is
Yeah.
last segment was like England expectedly beat Ireland by 10 wickets and Ollie Pope made 205. So I guess bat ball is still going. I know you posed concerns about England's bowling because yeah, but I think they haven't played Test cricket in a while, eh? And that was one flat pitch, you know. So I think they wouldn't have declared that early, also, but more focus on the so they wanted to try and get it over and done with. That's just my theory.
Yeah, and yeah, definitely. And look, I was so impressed with the way Ireland batted in that second innings. They were
Hmm.
fantastic.
Hmm.
They were really really fantastic. The way
Hmm.
they batted, especially that lower middle order. But I mean, England, they didn't really have their best attack on the pitch as well. I mean,
Hmm.
Jimmy
Of
wasn't
course, yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Robinson wasn't there. I mean, I expect those two to come back in the Ashes.
of course.
Robinson is going to be very crucial in the Ashes. Probably, I think Wilkes definitely should play, uh, you know, as an all-rounder in certain conditions. So
Mm-hmm.
England have so many options, eh? If you think about it, they have so many bowling options that they can actually choose from. I think the one
Hmm.
concern for England is probably Leach. I think Leach
Yeah.
has got to get going, because I mean, we saw what happened down under. Travis had really took a liking to him.
Yeah. But
So
Lee should not be in the Ashes, by the way. She's being replaced. I think Moeen Ali will take his place. Moeen Ali is making a surprise comeback, so that should be fun. I think Moeen Ali kind of enjoys this new regime, as they call it, under Baz Bowl, so he'll be having a lot of fun batting. And he'll also spin the ball
yeah,
as well. So yeah,
yeah. I
I like
mean,
it. Eh? I like it. Eh? I like it. It's good. It's
I,
good. Good. Good.
I like. I love Moeen as a player with bat and ball. I mean, such a valuable player. So it'd be fantastic to have him in the setup. So uh, I expect Leach to play a few tests as well, hey. But it's just about the control, and I think Stokes has got to play him very carefully, because if there's one bowler that the Aussies are going to go after, it's probably going to be Leach, eh?
Oh, sorry. Sorry. We're just breaking up there. What were you saying?
Yeah, I was saying I expect Leach to play in certain matches, and I think Stokes has got to use him very carefully, because if there's
I know, but
one bowler
no, but
that
you see,
yes,
yeah, but you see, Leach is not playing though. Leach is injured.
Leach.
Mm, mm. Moeen will probably play in his place because he's making a surprise comeback.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. And look, I mean, Moeen adds something with the bat as well. So, I mean, valuable
Mm,
cricketer. So,
mm,
I think with Moeen in that side, it adds so much of balance as well. You've already got an
mm,
all-rounder.
mm,
I mean, if you play Wokes, then you've got two all-rounders. So, yeah,
mm,
I think it's pretty much okay, hey. And you know, with England, they like to bat. They like to bat right down deep, kind of like
mm,
it reminds me of the South African sides back in the days, where I mean, we had bowlers that
mm,
could could bat and batters that could bowl, you know, multi-skilled players. You know, I kind of miss those days, eh? So yeah, that's probably what England wants at the moment as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have this theory of how. Okay. So I'm just trying to wait for the screen to open up. Okay. When I find out, I'll have this theory of how Test cricket can actually be better. You know, whenever a team, like for example, if they were going to host a Western nation like New Zealand, Australia, or England, they should prepare Asian type pitches so that they can get prepared for Asian conditions. Otherwise, if SA plays against the Asian teams at home, then they can prepare these wackadoodle over the top pitches. I just think it'll be better for us to prepare different surfaces to prepare for certain tours, but I know it won't happen. But it'll be nice. It's like, you know, when Australia plays against the Asian team at not Asian play like a Western team in their home ground, and they should prepare Asian pitches. It's like a vice versa sort of thing. You know what I'm saying, right?
No, I mean I totally agree with you. I think you really can't. You need to be versatile in the way you know. You got a bit of grass in it and pace. You need to all kinds of conditions, and I think probably the one pitch in the country.
I was saying that if SA hosts an Asian nation, you would expect from that. I'm saying if SA hosts a team like England, should, you know, a combination of Asian pitches and grassy pitches, so getting adjusted to all kinds of conditions. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course, and that would probably bring Keshav into the game a lot more as well. And I think the two venues I actually can do that is probably Durban and Port Elizabeth. Those pitches are,
I like
but they offer a bit of turn. And it's funny to say this about Durban, because Durban used to be one of the bounciest and fastest pitches going around. So I don't know what has happened with Durban. Durban has become so it's become, you know, kind of a spin-friendly deck now, where, you know, you put the ball in the right area, you get so much a turn going. So those are the two venues. I don't think it's going to happen in the Highveld. Unfortunately, those pitches are hard as rock, and they offer so much for and
you're right.
Even Cape Town as well. Cape Town is quite hard as well. So but Durban and
I think Cape Town prepares the best pitches there. I think Cape Town prepares the best pitches though.
No, I agree with you, and that is why the Proteas have such a good record in Cape Town, because the pitches are quite you know, fair in a way, in the sense, and they balance. Yeah, absolutely. I know you're not a big fan of the Wanderers, because the Wanderers sometimes it can be a bit over the top. It can be a bit over the top, but
it was okay in the last match against West Indies. It was okay this time, the Wanderers. It was okay. It was a lot better. Don't think you could top that Wanderers pitch. It was really not up to the mark. But anyway, that's history, man. I think I was just speaking.
I think when you talk about certain pitches, it's also good to have pitches where it challenges the batsman. Where, I mean, if a batsman comes and scores, essentially, I mean, you really got to applaud him, because it's such a difficult wicket to actually score runs on. So the great players find a way. The great players find a way of scoring runs on any conditions, on any surface. So that's how it is. But yeah, I like your idea, and I am also calling for a lot more test matches to come to this country. I hope the ICC is listening to me here. We need more test cricket. We definitely need more test cricket in this country, because I mean, there's a lot of potential, and obviously if the Proteas play a lot more test cricket, they're going to become a lot better as a team. Because I mean, back in the day, we used to have a lot of test cricket, and the Proteas were performing well. So ICC, I hope you're listening. It's important for the Proteas to have a lot more test cricket. We just want to see balance. I mean, we got the big three. We got England, Australia, India. I mean, obviously, you know, with regards to revenue. But I also think it's important for survival, for cricket survival, such that other nations also get, you know, their fair share of test matches, or we're gonna see a decline in the interest of test cricket. Apart from these three teams playing, you're not going to see interest from other nations with regards to test cricket, and I think that's going to be a sad day, because I mean, test cricket is quite fascinating in so many regards. There's so many things that play in the test match. So I think it's important to have balance. And New Zealand as well. New Zealand is going through the same thing where they're not getting to play enough cricket. So it's important to have a good distribution of test matches going around. And I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, even if you have some New Zealand tours coming to this country, it's fine. I mean, it's fine. I would go and watch New Zealand play test cricket. I think they're a decent test team. So, I mean, you know, I do hope there is an even distribution of test matches, you know, in years to come. But yeah, it's kind of looking the way it is at the moment, where, you know, franchise cricket is like taking stage and stuff. I mean, it's all fair, you know. Players do need the extra cash.
Yeah, I guess. I guess we just got to. Yeah, I'm just reading this thing on ESPN Quick Info. It's actually on their Twitter page. This is Australia. Sorry.
I just think for the survival of Test cricket, it's important. It's important to have a good distribution. I mean, South Africa and Australia is such a big rivalry, especially in Test match cricket. I mean, going back so many years. I mean, over 100 years. Talking about over 100 years of history between SA and Australia. SA in England. I mean, you also look at almost 120 years of history. So it's important for these nations to play consistently, and I would love those 5-match Test series. I think three matches are a bit too less for me. I would say 4. I would say 4 Tests is probably a good kind of you know, examination, and you probably get the best team winning from a 4-Test series.
Yeah. Okay. Before we wrap off, I was just reading this thing on ESPN Quick Info saying Australia's lead is already more than the highest successful total chase down at the Oval. So that already tells you the challenge for India being faced. So, and I think the match has already started now. So I think, what are your final words before we wrap off?
Yeah, I mean, Aussies are favourites at the moment, overwhelming favourites. I mean, you're 300 in front, 4 down. I mean, it's looking like a mountain to climb back. But I mean, if India can restrict them to under 350, they certainly have a chance. And you know, I'll repeat myself again. If this goes over 400, then alarm bells are going to be ringing. So I think India have just got to dig in deep here and get this under 350. I'd say 360 most they probably want to chase. But I mean, even if they had to chase that in the 4th inning, somebody's got to play a blinder of an innings. And I mean, who better than King Kohli to come to come to the rescue when India do need him, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be more than just King Kohli. Kohli, Sharma, Gill, Pujara, the rest of the top four. You need everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But, okay, I think that's pretty much a wrap. You enjoy the cricket. We shall catch up soon.
Yeah, cheers, Sid. Have a good week.